We're gonna have some fun. Oh, my jangles. This is always a mission. But anyway, it's fine. It's all good. So, what are we talking about today? Let's talk about. I think I'm just gonna start with maybe a sermon on something. And that sermon is going to be about operating as the version of you that has what the fuck you want. Okay, so when we're talking about operating as a version of you that has what you want, I'm going to give you an example. Okay, so this came up in a conversation that I had with a client of mine, and it was something to the effect of how should one interact with their specific person in the 3D while the 3D is unfolding. Okay, so I do not ever tell anyone how to interact with people in the 3D, because number one, I don't know how you're going to feel if you do this or if you don't do that, or if you say this, if you don't say that. Like, I don't know, because I'm not you. Okay, so this is why, and that's the only reason why I don't tell anyone what to do in the 3D. Okay, plus I don't do dating advice, I do manifestation advice. And with manifesting, honestly, it doesn't matter what the fuck you're doing or not doing in the 3D, because as long as you hold still in your mind with the story that you want to play out, the 3D will rearrange itself and you don't have to lift a finger. Okay, so that's really what I want to reiterate here. Now, here's the topic that came up in the conversation with my client. When you're interacting with SP, okay, if you feel an inspired action to reach out to them and it doesn't feel forced and you're not trying to like get an answer, right? If you're just like, okay, yeah, I feel like reaching out, cool, let me reach out, and then you just, it's like, it is what it is. Like an inspired action, you're not going to feel like you're moving. It's just going to be like a momentum, okay? So that's basically what an inspired action is. Now, interacting with an SP in the 3D by way of the ego, which is force, is you text them because you want a reaction, or you post a pic because you want a reaction or some shit. Okay, so that's how you can tell the difference. Now, I would recommend not forcing the 3D, but if you really feel like you want to do something or say something, that's totally on you. But ask yourself, okay, me having said this, how am I going to feel after? Okay, that's what I would recommend. Now, if someone is wanting to text SP to talk about their feelings or to tell them off or whatever the case, okay, I want to be really honest. If you are going to write an essay to SP, okay, about all the shit that went wrong, what version of them do you think you are activating when you're sending 16 paragraphs about everything, right? Is that the version of them that you want? No, because the version of them that you want, you're not even going to need to be sending 16 paragraphs telling them off or saying this or saying that. You're just going to be with them, okay? So that's something to keep in mind. If you are in no contact or whatever, I mean, I don't know what. Hey, Carol Gypsy, what's up? What is up, everyone? Thank you for joining. We're just getting started with the sermon here. So when you think that you want to say something or do something in the 3D in regards to SP, ask yourself, what version of them am I activating if I were to send this or if I were to do this, right? Because if you're going to write them a paragraph telling them off, and like, listen, if there's a boundary crossed or if, you know, some disrespect happened in the 3D, then, you know, by all means, you can tell them, you know, don't fucking do that shit again or whatever the case, like, that's fine. But if you're just in your emotions and you want to say something, you're activating the version of them that fucked up, okay? Because the version of them that you're with in your mind did not fuck up, because that's a totally different person. So before you even post that pic, right? I'm going to post a pic to get their attention. I want to see if they, like my story and like that. Like, listen, guys, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. It's normal to want some sort of validation from the 3D, or maybe a little excitement, or whatever the case. But if you're in a committed relationship with someone, living with them, married to them, whatever you want, are you going to be posting a pic for their attention? No, because likely they're the ones that took the pic for you, so you're not going to need to do that. Just like if you want to, send 16 paragraphs, you're sending that to the version of them that you no longer want and accept. So if you do that, no, it is not going to mess up your manifestation, but also be aware of the undertone of why you're doing what you're doing, okay? If it's to get some sort of reaction out of the 3D, or if it's for some type of closure or resolution, it's like you're talking, you might as well be talking to a brick wall. Because you're going at it with that timeline where shit got fucked up is already done. It's done, but you are summoning it now by thinking, oh, let me just do this, let me just say that, right? So you're summoning the version of them that you don't want, but based off of your 3D actions. And no, the actions don't matter, but that just shows you in real time in 3D, thank you for the heart, that you are focused on the wrong version of them if you are sensing that you want to even do something like that. So my recommendation with dealing with any type of SP, hey Ashley, any recommendation of dealing with SP, okay, whatever you're going to do, listen, that's totally on you, okay? I don't tell no motherfucker what to do. But ask yourself, if I were to do this, what version of SP am I activating by who I'm being in this moment right now? And that is your clear answer, okay? And to be honest, the less that one toils with the middle, especially with an SP situation, because it's like maybe you're interacting with them, maybe you're in no contact, maybe you're not. I don't know, what everyone's situation is different, but if you're toiling, ooh, hey, what is up? I am so happy. I can't wait to hear your updates. Holla. If you're like toying with the 3D, saying, let me just get a response from them now, it's like you're kind of extending the unfolding of it by looking at, okay, I want something now, right? But the correct way to want something now is to say it's already done. They're already committed to me now. I don't need to send them a text message, because the text message is going to happen anyway, right? Because if you're living in the end properly, I promise you, are not even going to care what is happening with SP in the 3D. You will not care. Thank you, sunshine. You're not going to care. And that's just what it is. So, and this goes for any manifestation too. Oh, I love it, Ms. Ashley. I'm so happy for you. If you are looking at the in-between, you are placing your focus now on the in-between. And especially if you are interacting with the in-between, even if you're manifesting money and action, if you keep checking your bank balance, what is that indicating, right? It's indicating that you're not fully looking at the story, that your funds are already there, okay? And you don't need to believe, hey, what is up, everyone? You don't need to believe the story, okay? There's, like in the last live that I did, there was a discussion about the difference between law of attraction and law of assumption. And individuals were telling me that law of attraction, it kind of seems like it's like feeling based, or that you had to believe it and raise your vibration. And no, you don't need to do that, okay? If your dominant focus is a thing, you're focused with your mind, your feelings are going to start to conform to that anyway. Yes, I agree. Don't be tempted to check the 3D. Like, you know, you want to check the socials and shit. Like, man, you want to keep looking at your phone. Did they hit me up yet? Oh, did the money clear into my account? You let it go. Because the things... Hey, Elena, what is up, girl? Guys, Elena is such an amazing manifestation coach. I love her content. She's the real deal. That's why you went no contact again? Yeah, I mean, listen, it's up to you. Like, the thing is, with no contact, you know, you keep in mind that there is no such thing. Oh, I love you, Elena. There's no such thing as no contact, okay? Because with thought transmission, which I went into an extensive detail, okay? I went on a sermon, okay? It was like I parted the fucking seas with that one. I went in depth, and then I made another video, which is on my YouTube, which you can see where I was dissecting even the thought transmission. So, there's never no contact because you are the only observer, and since you are always operating, hey, good morning. Since you are always conscious, right? You just being in existence is powering up the consciousness. So you're powering up whatever it is just by you being in the moment, okay? So no contact doesn't exist because if you think of them, your energetic charge of just being is still summoning them because you're the only observer, and then now they're looking at you, they're like, yes, master, what is your command? That's exactly what it's like. So even if you in 3D it looks like there's no contact, there is always contact going on, okay? But if you feel like you don't want to interact with them in the 3D, you just need to pause, like that's fine too, but you don't have to do that, okay? You can still interact with a specific person in the 3D, but you have to be really mindful as to how you are interpreting the things that they are doing and saying, okay? You're not there calling up all your homies saying, what do you think this text message means? They put 3 question marks instead of 2. Like, you gotta stop with that, okay? And you just gotta look at it. Whatever they could send you a picture of them on the toilet bowl. You're like, oh, they're in love with me. They're obsessed with me. They can't live without me. That's what you're doing for everything if you are interacting with them in 3D. And you're not, you know, you're gonna have some self-discipline, and you're gonna catch yourself if you feel like you want to spy on them, and you're gonna be like, yo, what version of SP am I activating by thinking that I have to spy on this motherfucker? Because if you think that you need to find out some shit about them that's showing mistrust in that they are already conformed to the version of them that you want, because the version of them that you want, you wouldn't need to spy on them because you would always know what they're up to. You see what I'm saying? Can you manifest someone that you never dated? You can manifest anyone you want. It's all the same process. It doesn't matter if it could be someone that you've never even met before. It could be someone that you don't even have like an idea who it is. For those of you who's manifesting a new relationship, you could just manifest anyone and it would be the same process. You just, you know, in my opinion, go right to the end. Like some people, they want to manifest in steps and shit, but like, I don't know. Like, I you know, I'm not gonna like knock anyone's thing if they want to manifest in steps, if that's something that they want, but I would say just go all in with the story that you want, okay? If you want to be married to them, I'm happily married to SP, that's it, it's done. Okay, but you also want to be mindful if you have any contradicting beliefs in there that might contradict what you are declaring is. Because let's say you're saying I'm happily married to SP, I'm happily married to SP, whatever, SP shows up, okay, cool, you get married. Now, what happens? Some crazy shit goes down and you're like, wait, what the fuck just happened? I was affirming and I got it. And then you never addressed the issue that maybe you thought relationships were hard, or you thought love was hard, or you thought like everyone cheated, or you thought everyone was a liar, right? You see, so that's the undertone. And the undertone never left because you were only affirming for SP, and that's great, it worked. But if there was, and I'm not saying this is the case for everyone, but if you have an underlying belief about relationships, and you'll know that because you'll notice a pattern in your relationships, and you get to the root of the underlying belief and you make one general affirmation about that, and you would say, relationships are always so easy for me to manifest. Relationships are so perfect and peaceful for me, and SP is madly in love with me, and we're happily married. Okay, you would add that in there. And here's the thing that, you know, some people ask about robotic affirmations and things like that, and you know what, it's up to the individual, because some people, if they're robotically affirming, it can get draining, okay, and exhausting. And if that's the case, I do not recommend it. But if you're cool with robotically affirming, then I would suggest keep on going, okay? But you definitely don't need to. I would pick one affirmation, like one statement that is easy for you to remember, that implies that everything is done. Your relationships have always been perfect. SP is madly in love with you. Boom, that's it. There's not, you know, some people make like 8 million affirmations because they think it's gonna, I mean, I don't know why they do it. I guess only they would know. But they think that they need to say, SP is in love with me. SP treats me like a king. SP treats me like a queen, whatever it is, right? And they put all of these bullet points down, but it's like, my dude, you really gonna remember like 26 affirmations off the top of your hat when you think you're about to spiral? No. If you think you're about to spiral, then that's when I would definitely recommend robotically affirming one affirmation that implies that you are safe and everything is peaceful and everything is perfect right now. That's what I'd recommend. You focus on you. If you feel like you're gonna spiral, you bro, SP, you kick that motherfucker out the chat and you focus on yourself. And no matter what you're feeling, you say, I am safe, everything is perfect, everything is peaceful, all is well, everything has already unfolded for me better than I expected. That's it, okay? And then when you are back in a more neutral place, then you can start in with the affirmations. But I really think, you know, and to each their own, you can do whatever you want, but like, you don't need 10 million affirmations, okay? Literally, oh, you love EFT tapping? I've heard about that, and I heard it works for some people. I mean, I personally never really resonated with that, but yeah, if that works for you, then definitely do that. You robotically affirm only one or two, and usually just for fun. Yeah, that's the way to do it, because like, the thing with manifestation is that so many people are like looking for the next best technique and all this shit, and it's like, oh, well, this person did this, so now I'm gonna do that. And like, it's like the thing is already done. You know what I'm saying? The technique doesn't matter. If you were to merely just decide, what I want is done now, there is nothing for me to do, I am all that is, and it is done because I said so, that would be more than enough. Just don't think against it. Like, if I had like the best advice that I would say, even before affirmations and techniques, okay, if you are trying to override a belief system, then yes, I would recommend robotic affirmations, just to, you know, get the belief system out of there. But if you were to just not think against the thing, that would be enough. Yeah, it's done. It crosses your mind. Where is it? It's fucking done. Oh no, but this happened last week. It's done. But what if this happens tomorrow? Doesn't matter, it's done. Okay, now, yes, exactly. Whatever method works for each person, because everyone is different. So some people don't visualize, and that's fine. They still get their shit. And some people prefer to script things out, and they still get their shit. It really just depends, okay? Like, it really depends. Like, everyone is having their own experience, so it's like, you know, the general thing that everyone can do is be mindful of the thoughts that they're thinking throughout the day. And the more you are mindful of the thoughts that you're thinking throughout the day, then the faster the thing is going to seem to arrive. And, you know, you just go for a walk, it's super calm and present. Yeah, that's definitely it. I love going on walks too. I fucking love it. I love it. But whatever calms you down, you know. But the thing is, like, okay, so let's talk a little bit about the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, because I just posted a video on my YouTube if you want to see me go more in depth to that, but I'm going to talk about it briefly here. Okay, your conscious mind is what you are, you know, aware of. It's like your thoughts that you're thinking throughout the day. Oh, this is in my consciousness. Okay, cool, right? What I want for lunch, what's happening tomorrow, I have this appointment, or I have to call my friend back. Okay, that's the conscious mind. But the subconscious mind is like the storage unit. It's like one of those USB fucking storage units that you like attach to the fucking phone and shit. Although it's kind of already built in, but you know what I mean? It's just, it's there. It's a storage unit. And everything that you have ever put on that phone is now downloaded to the fucking USB port, whatever the fuck, I don't even know what it's called, lightning drive, I don't fucking know. Okay, I ain't no techie and I don't fucking portray myself to be, but you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so your subconscious mind is like that. It's storing everything from the fucking phone, which your phone is like your mind, okay? And it's just there. And you're lugging it around with you, even though consciously you're like, oh, I'm on this app, I'm on that app, whatever. But the storage unit is still there, and it's recalling everything. So now, if something comes up, consciously you're aware of it, but if it is in resonance with something that is also in your storage unit, the storage unit will be like, oh, hey, do you want to look at this? Yeah, we have that stored. Okay, here you go. And then it's going to come into your conscious, maybe not even a way where you're consciously aware of, because remember, it's the undercurrent. So it's a sneaky little motherfucker, I'll tell you what. The subconscious mind is very sneaky, because sub means under, so it's covert in its operation, whereas the conscious mind is just direct. This is what it is. The subconscious, it's like, it's slithery, okay? It's like a snake. It's like coming through, and it's like hissing and shit, and it's like whispering, okay? It's like whispering, right? And that's how the subconscious works, because remember, the conscious mind, it functions in directness, okay? This is this, that is that, this is me, that is you, whatever the case, okay? This is ice cream, this is Jello, whatever, okay? That's what it's doing. But the subconscious, the way it communicates is super subtle, okay? It's not direct, it's just subtle. It whispers, and it's like whatever the fuck it's saying, okay? So you're manifesting SP. You're happily married to SP now, right? But you were still lugging around that fucking USB port on your fucking phone, and you know, in your marriage sector, something happened. Okay, yeah, SP and I got married, but you, underneath that, you had a belief that marriages always fail. Okay, and it's there. So you manifest SP consciously, because that's what you're consciously aware of, and you did it, and it's good. But then marriages always fail. Marriages always fail. But it's not saying it in words. It's saying it in like a sensation that you are going to compute into a word, likely a worry or a fear-based thought or something along those lines, okay? It communicates like that because it doesn't give you direct clarity. It's subverted, okay? It's under, okay? So if you have a cake and you have the icing on the outside, that's the conscious mind, right? But you don't know what flavor is the cake, right? You don't know unless you cut into it, okay? And you're not going to taste that piece of the cake unless you cut into it, and then now it's in your mouth and you're like, whoa, I didn't really feel like strawberry shortcake today, but okay, cool. Okay, it's like one of those type of things, because you don't know, but it's whispering to you in a way where it's like a sensation. It's not a thought that you can compute, but it is going to start, you're going to get sensations, and it's going to activate a thought in you. Okay, so you married SP, cool, right? But underneath that, inside the layer of the cake, marriages don't work out. So you marry SP, right? You bit into the cake, but oh shit, that shit tastes like trash. that shit tastes like booty garbage, because you didn't know what the flavor of the cake was until you bit into it and the thing presented itself to you to activate the subconscious belief about marriage. Do you see what I'm saying? I don't know if that made sense. And then this is where motherfuckers be tripped up, because they're like, but I was manifesting this and then that happened. And it's like, but did you get to the root of the issue? Did you have any previous stories about it? And likely you wouldn't know until you really sit and think back, okay? Because it came from there, but you didn't see it because you're focused on the icing and not caring or not knowing or not wondering what was going on in the cake, okay? So this is why, yes, you can manifest something easily, consciously, but it can get fucked up if you had a pattern or a story in that sector and you didn't address it. This is why manifestation is instant, but some individuals get their shit like immediately and some take a longer time, because you don't know what type of belief systems everyone has going on in their subconscious mind, okay? You don't know. You only know you. So that's why you shouldn't compare your journey, in my opinion, to anyone else's, because the inside of your cake is different from the inside of theirs, okay? So that's why when things happen in the 3D, right? Let's say, you know, we'll take that cake example, okay? It's like, oh, thank you, Mr. Android. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing with money. It's the same thing with health or body image. It's all of that. So if there are no underlying subconscious beliefs that would taint the conscious manifestation that you are focused on, that shit it'll be so easy and you're not even gonna have to think about it, okay? But the subconscious, the way that it speaks, it's in undertones, and I don't know how to explain it better than that, okay? So if you have a pattern in a sector of your life where you've had a few experiences of it, I would recommend seeing what that story says about a belief that you have, that you're carrying around the USB port, okay? And then that's where you target with the robotic affirmations, okay? So if it's the thing, like I said with the SP, oh, marriages never work out, you're gonna say, oh, marriage is easy. All I see is evidence of happy marriages wherever I'm at, right? Like that's what you're gonna go with. And that's going to target that. And you can affirm for SP in the same sentence, but that's why I'd recommend looking, you know, if you do have a pattern, you want to address that so that the subconscious ain't storing no janky shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, state akin to sleep. I love state akin to sleep. Sometimes when I do I go into a state akin to sleep when I'm listening to trance music and I'm just laying down relaxing and I don't even realize it. And then I'm like kind of in my body, kind of like out there. Oh, I love it. That's my thing. So it's kind of like a meditation, because I believe in the state akin to sleep, it's like your mind is slowing down, like the waves are slowing down, so you're more relaxed and you're more easily suggestible to what you want to program into your mind. But I ain't a science motherfucker, like I said. Whew. You watch my videos, thank you so much. Thank you for joining the live. Yeah, I post a whole bunch of different shit, you know what I mean? Like, I don't, like, so some people, you know, they want to focus on manifesting money or SP, which, I mean, I have to say, those are the two biggest ones, but, like, you know, the manifesting for anything, if you're manifesting for someone else, if you're manifesting for body image or health, it's the same concept as if you're manifesting for money in SP. It's just that I have noticed from my experience that the most things people care to talk about is number one, SP, number two, money. The science, that's so funny. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy the science. Yes, my YouTube channel is linked in my bio. Any recommendations for state akin to sleep meditation on YouTube? I don't really know like a specific one. Like if I want to go into a meditative state, I will put on binaural beats with theta waves added to it. But mostly I listen to trance music, and I have a few songs that I personally listen to that just get me in that state even faster than like a meditation or a binaural beat, but that's just because it resonates with me. And that's literally what I do. But if I do want a subliminal, I will use the binaural beats because they are giving different tones in each of your ears, which is supposed to keep your mind like activated, even though it's relaxed, and it keeps you more alert. So like you're more easily programmable because you have an alertness, but at the same time you're kind of drowsy. It's some trippy shit. Any suggestions for subliminals? I don't listen to subliminals personally. I have heard of High Frequency Guru. I've heard that people like that content. Ooh, thank you for the roses. But you know, it really depends on you. Like everyone is different. So if you want to try out a subliminal from any content creator and you listen to it and you feel good after, then yeah, continue with that. But still, the subliminal is also about your perception of it. If you think the subliminal is going to work, then it's going to work. And if you don't think it's going to work, then it's not going to work, because it's the same thing as any manifestation. Yeah, I think it, like, and even you know, guided meditations and guided affirmations and things like that, they all can be beneficial, but it still depends on your individual perspective of the thing, you know what I mean? So like I would say just try to see what resonates with you, like pick a few, and if you find one that you really like, then you know, go for it. Best advice to handle the delay in the 3D? Stop thinking it's a delay. There's no delay. The thing is now, right? But it can look like the 3D has a lag time, as they like to say, but the more that you focus on the lag time, the longer the lag time is going to seem to be. So I would recommend, if you do find yourself looking at time, just say it's done now. It's done now. But where is it? It's done now. But what about it's done now? But they said, no, it's done now. That's it. That's what I recommend. And also, of course, being present in the moment. You know, being present, like a lot of people, I think, maybe don't understand the importance of, okay, when you are being present in the moment, you're not fighting against your manifestation, saying, oh, but how come it hasn't come? How's it going to get here? And you're not looking at time, like, where is it? You're just being present, because in every now moment, you're still in a place in time, okay? Unless you're in like a, oh, thank you for the astronaut. Unless you're in like a meditative state, like a deep trance, and you're just not thinking anything, you're always thinking, and you're always thinking either past, present, or future. So the more you are presently focused, you've collapsed time, because there is no time, because it's only now, because the isness, the universe, source, all whatever you want to call it, only knows now. Okay? It doesn't, it computes, okay, you're looking at something that happened 5 years ago, then it's happening now. You're looking at something that you want to happen 5 years from now. Okay, you're looking at it now, and that's what it is. So whatever, if you're genuinely focused on the now moment and being present, and just not looking at the past or the future, then you collapse time, because you're now, and you're at one, and you are in alignment with your higher self, source, God, universe, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You're gonna manifest to look like me? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I think you should manifest to look like the best version of you, you know? Because you're hot as fuck just the way you are. I guarantee it. Aw, thank you. What do we do after we become aware of the subconscious beliefs that are preventing the outcome? What I would recommend is to make one affirmation that, have a wonderful day too, Lena. is to make one affirmation that encompasses what that belief is, only obviously say the opposite. So if the subconscious belief is that money is hard to come by, you're going to say money always flows to me easily. I always have more than enough. You can robotically affirm that throughout the day, or just, think of it whenever you're thinking of anything, if your mind is idle. And you can also, we were just talking about subliminals, but I like sleep tapes, like with my own recorded voice, and you could do that on the Parrot app. And you could just make some affirmations that are in direct contradiction to the subconscious limiting belief. And you can listen to that either while you're awake or while you're sleeping. It doesn't matter, Woo. How do you manifest multiple things? It's really the same thing as manifesting one thing. Some people say, oh, you should manifest only one thing at a time. Like, why? If everything is now, you're not really manifesting anything. So if you're manifesting multiple things, I would just make one statement. Everything I want has already come true. That's it. Because you already know what you want, right? Because like I said, with the subconscious mind storage bank, okay, that USB drive that's attached to the phone, your subconscious mind stored already everything that you want. So you don't need to reiterate every single thing that you want, because it's already in the storage, because your subconscious mind stores everything. So you say, it's already done. Everything that I want is already here. It's already done. Everything that I want is already here. It's already done. Everything I want is already here. All my desires have been made manifest. It's already here. It's already done. And you know what I mean? And I do these weird things with my hands. I don't know why, but it feels good to me to do it. So that's how I roll up in this motherfucker. So, can you give me a mantra to ensure everything that comes my way does so safely and in the best way? I think that's a perfect mantra if you want to just turn what you just said into an affirmation. The thing that I personally say is everything is done now. It's done perfectly, beautifully, magically, and better than I expected. And I like to add magically in there because that's the way I like my shit to roll in. It looks like magic. Hell yeah, that's what I get with that. And, oh, you're confused how to live in the end and how to respond to SP in 3D when he shows up unfavorably. I did mention that in the beginning of this video. So if you want, I get in depth with that. So if you want to check this out when it goes on YouTube, I recommend that. But basically, I would say how do you interact? You persist in your mind, and you don't conduct yourself from looking at the version of SP that is unfavorable. So if you and SP are talking and they're not texting you as fast as you want them to text you back, instead of sending them a message saying, yo, why you don't blow up my motherfucking phone, homie, you're gonna say, hey, nice to hear from you, or something, or you're just not gonna mention it. You want to interact with them as though they are already conformed, and that's kind of like a mind fuck. You might gaslight yourself a bit with that, but if you stay persistent in that story, then that's what I recommend. Or if you are, wanting to spy on them, or you're wanting to post pics for their attention, you know what I mean? Like, that's still the same concept. Like, are you doing that because they're already conformed, or are you doing that trying to get their attention because you're still not observing them as already conformed, and you're saying that you had to do something to make shit happen? Do you see? So always operate. Think, I want to interact with SP right now. Who am I interacting with? Is it the version I want? Okay, let me proceed. Is it the version I don't want? Okay, abort mission. That's what you're gonna fucking do. How do you stop dwelling in the now while you manifest better? Dwelling in the now, I mean, if you're saying that in a way where you mean you're too focused on the 3D circumstances, then I would say you have to find a way to put the most positive spin on everything that you see. And even if it's just like a blanket affirmation, like, oh yeah, this happened because I already have what I want. And then something else happens. Oh yeah, that happened because I already have what I want. Or if it's your job, yeah, this job is here because I'm already at my dream career. It's already done. Like, I would just say something as simple as that. Whatever shows up in the 3D, yeah, what's up? Okay, I already have what I want. Cool story, bro. Like that's what you want to do. You want to like, seriously, bro. Cool story. I absolutely love that one. It's like you're kind of tuned out. It's like, I think I said in one of my other videos where I was like, damn, that's crazy. And then I said it like in the form of the meme where it's like, after your like 45th damn that's crazy and the motherfucker still keeps talking and your face is just like, that's how you want to deal with the 3D. Damn, that's crazy. Oh, damn, that's fucking crazy. Oh, that's wild as fuck, man. Like you're like, whatever's going on there is none of my business, not my circus, not my monkeys. So that's what I would say with even interacting with the 3D. Like, yes, there might be things that you're doing in the 3D, like you're brushing your teeth and you're showering, but you're ideally, for me, because I'm delulu as fuck, everything around me, this is, yeah, I have what I want, and I'm in like two worlds. Like, yes, here's the existence of the vessel, but in my mind I'm like boom, 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 boom. And like, for me, delusional manifesting works because I don't need proof. I am the proof, just like you guys are the proof, right? If the proof that the desire exists is already in your state of being, okay? Man, I'm jamming out to some fucking pimp fucking trance. I love it. I love it. So yeah, that's what I would recommend with that. But, you know, like, I think people, even with manifesting, they can sometimes take it too seriously, and it's, Dan, that's crazy. Exactly, that's what you do. It's like, it's not that serious, but like the mind is making it to be serious. And even if you were to start like forcing yourself to like laugh at a 3D circumstance, like what? Like is this some sort of joke? Like, what is going on here, right? Like, even if you forced that, it would take down the seriousness of everything. You know what I mean? So you can force yourself to laugh at it. That's fine. It really depends on what works for you. Or you can talk back to it. Like, not today, motherfucker. I don't know what you're doing. But you don't want to, you know, take it so seriously. That's crazy. What's your favorite way to stay in this state, especially with triggers? If you are triggered and if your emotions seem like they are spiraling, you're going to deep breaths. You could go for a walk. You could go to the gym. You could go for a drive. You could do a meditation. You could do EFT tapping or whatever. You know what I mean? The simplest thing you can do is breathe through it. And to stay in the state, you're going to calm yourself down first. You're going to say, I am safe. I'm safe in my mind. I'm safe in my body. All is well. Everything is perfect. Everything has already unfolded beautifully for me, better than I expected. Or you can just say, I am safe. I am safe in my mind. I'm safe in my body. And that works, okay? If you are triggered, I recommend just going to put the focus on yourself. So you ground yourself. You neutralize any unstable energy. And you're just there, okay? You can say it's a bridge, yeah, I mean, but, you know, I also want to remind you that if you keep saying something is a bridge, then now you're kind of placing your focus saying it's the bridge, right? When the thing is already done. And this is, you know, I actually think I really want to start like going apeshit with it's already done, okay? Just because for me, that's been the thing. It's like a fucking, you ever be on the fucking freeway and shit, you got the diamond lanes and like there's traffic and you on the diamond fucking lane. That's what that does. When you say it's already done, you fast track the shit, because now it's like, what bridge? What bridge? It's already done. And when anyone talks about time and they're like, but I was manifesting for this amount of time. What if it's gonna take too long? What if this, what if that? I'm like, but there is no time. There is no time. You looking at time is putting more time into the equation. You know what I mean? So you want to think of the thing that it's okay. I have my handy dandy fucking notepad and my little dry erase. Look at this guy. Okay, we got the faux marble up in this bitch. Okay, so let's say, right, this is you. Okay, this is a timeline. What's the issue, bro? They both exist, right? So now it's you in the timeline, but then you're like, oh, but the bridge. So now, oh, there, I don't know if you could see all that, but look, there's the bridge. Okay, and then you're like, oh no, it's already done. Oh, but it's taking so long. Okay, now there you went again. You held it back from you. And it's not even that you held it back, because really the timeline already exists and it's existing in suspended animation. But you held it back from you because you're saying that there's, you know, something in between there, and there's no in between. It's just you and the thing. That's why when you're presently focused in the moment, you collapse time, because you're not looking at it. So how can something exist if you're not looking at it? So whenever you find yourself looking at time or wondering how long it's been, or, you know, comparing your story to anyone else's, you have to say, okay, this is not my end goal. My end goal is that, and that's it. You know what I mean? It's just done. This is my end goal. Okay, now it's you and the end goal. There's nothing in between. There's nothing up here. There's nothing down there. There's no, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's like, there you go. It is. And the more you just, you know, it's gonna sound fucking cringe maybe, but the more you are present in your like day-to-day life, just enjoying or making the most and the best out of each moment, you're not thinking about time, so the time ceases to exist, and then the thing appears. This is why I've heard from a lot of people that when they're in the now moment, or they're not expecting it, the thing will happen. Why? Because they're not thinking about it, so there's no time that they're placing in between it and them. There's no bridge of events that they're placing in between it or them, because they're in the moment. They're in the now. They collapse the timeline. They know what they want. It's already done. They collapse the now because they're not looking for something in between the now moment. Like, that sounds so trippy. But that's definitely, you know, what it is. It all exists in a parallel reality. Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't even know if I would call it parallel realities. I know a lot of people do, but like the way that I've seen timelines is they just kind of like dance all around. Like, it's not like a line, right? Because the parallel reality kind of implies that it, you know, it's already... Here's the thing. Okay, well, I just saw an image. Okay, so thank you for that question. But here's the thing, right? It's parallel to the third dimensional eyes, right? Because it looks like, yeah, it's happening here, it's happening there, but in reality, it's already one, right? It's already here, and you are tuning yourself to the version of you that's in there, so it looks like the thing is outside of you from the ego perspective, right? Like, okay, well, SP conformed on this day of this year, whatever, right? You're placing that, so it's going to make it look like a parallel, like things were running along, but that's still the ego perception. But time really all is now, and it's just like, it's like moving around, right? Based off of your consciousness. Like, I'm seeing like different timelines like around someone's mind, and then like they're all existing now, but it's like which one is in the closest proximity to your dominant focus right now. Okay, so if a timeline where you're manifesting SP is in your dominant focus, it's going to be magnetized, and you and that timeline are going to start to converge, and you know, it might happen instantaneously, or you might see bits and pieces of it, but it's not linear. It's just, it's being created from your awareness, but it already exists. But from your third dimensional perspective, you're going to be like, okay, this happened in a sequence of events, right? But the thing already was enmeshed in you. It's just that you're unlocking the version of yourself who is in that timeline, and you're doing it consciously. And then so the timeline absorbs into you. Whew. Oh my goodness, I just saw a vision. Y'all, I just saw a vision. I don't know if that was trippy as fuck. That shit was wild as fuck. Oh my word. So, when manifesting appearance change, do you be delusional or no, it's on its way to the 3D? It's already done. It's not on its way. Just like I said with, you know, this whole timeline fucking sermon I just went on. It's already done. If you're saying that it's on its way, you're building a bridge. Okay, so you don't want to build a bridge. You know what I mean? Like, the bridge is gonna build itself. It's going to start formulating itself. It's going to construct itself. It's not your job to build the bridge. You say it's already done. The bridge is on autopilot. Okay, it's just boom. There you go. Okay, the bridge is on autopilot. You just had deja vu. Hell yeah, I love deja vu. Whew. This isn't a tarot live. I don't know. Wait, what? Is someone asking tarot questions? I didn't even peep that, but okay. Does it all exist within ourselves? In my opinion, yes, because if we are the only observer, we're the only consciousness, it has to exist because it's coming from us. It's in our mind. And here's something else that I just saw, because you know how they have pictures of space, right? And it looks like it, you know, there's stars and shit like that. And then they show like the inside of the brain, like how there's neurons like fired up, and it kind of looks like, you know, shooting stars or whatever. It's space is a metaphor for your mind, because it's in the space of your mind that you have awareness, and then it shapes into the space of the 3D. Okay, so space, think about it. You have space. It's your mind, and that's just my opinion. Okay, I'm not. This ain't nothing where it's saying space is real or fake or whatever. It's just when you see images of space, like outer space, and you see pictures of like the inside of the brain, that shit looks very, very similar. And I think there's a reason why that information is out there. Okay, not that there's an outer space, but it's an inner space, and then it becomes the outer by your focus on it, because you're lighting up all these neural pathways, as Joe Dispenza likes to talk about. When intrusive thoughts come in and they're very uncomfortable, do you fight them or let them be? No, you wouldn't want to fight a thought, because you can't. What do you do? Like, yo, motherfucker, what's up? Like, you can't fight a thought. The only thing you can do is switch it out for another thought, or you could just allow it to be there and be like, okay, well, you don't mean shit, but cool, all right, you want to hang out for a bit? No problem. And the less you pay mind to the intrusive thoughts, the more neural pathways you're going to ignite away from the intrusive thoughts, and then they're not going to be as activated, and they're going to start to dissolve in your experience. But there's this quote, that question reminds me, there's this quote, and it's from this thing called Ramtha, the White Book, okay? And it has like legit one of my most favorite fucking quotes, okay? I think I have it on my fucking... Oh my god, I have to, because it reminded me of this, and I have to, I'm pretty sure I have it saved somewhere, or maybe I don't. But yeah, there's this quote, and I love it, and I think it's like, and in my opinion, Ramtha, the White Book by J.Z. Knight is like a really great, I mean, it's like a channeled book. It's a little esoteric. So if you're into that, then, you know, maybe it's for you, but it's not for everyone. But I'm going to read you this quote, okay? And I'm going to tell you a fun story time about how I came in the vicinity of this beautiful, magical white book, okay? This quote from the book, Ramtha, the White Book by J.Z. Knight, says the most powerful energy that has ever existed is the thought. Contemplate for a moment how one could destroy, blow up, knife, or war against a thought. You cannot. I mean, goddamn. That for me is like reading Bible verses. Like that got me feeling all sorts of like, Anyway, okay. But so to the original question, right? Should you fight your thoughts? You can't. Like, how can you fight a thought? The only thing you can do is just kind of let it dissolve, switch it out. Like, you're just like, all right, whatever. Like, to fight with it, why are you here? I mean, you can say get out, you're not welcome here, but to like actively engage with it is just going to engage more of that same timeline. Layla, the book is called The White Book, and it's by Ramtha J.Z. Knight. And yes, that book, I know I've said this story before, but I found that book through some weird inspiration guided thought. I was like, a few years ago, I was sitting on my couch and I had TV on, I had fans blowing, I had my music, and I was looking at my iPad because I like a million things going on because that's how I roll. So then I was, just sitting, chilling, and the voice said to me, Google the White Book. And I was like, what? Like, Google the White Book? And then I'm like, all right, well, I got my iPad right here, I might as well. So I typed in Google the White Book, and then that book came up, and it was like exactly what I needed in the moment. And I said, oh shit, because the way that it was just, I don't know, I don't know if it's everyone's style, but it's written very, very like esoterically. Can you explain in simple terms for someone new? Explain what topic? Can you clarify, please? When you affirm over, it feels like you're talking over almost like an argument. Yeah, I mean, I would just switch it out. Maybe you could even make it sort of like a joke or a game or like something fun. Like you can make a song out of the new affirmation. Like, you know what I mean? Like the whole point is not to take it seriously, right? Because you can't fight with it. So think about it. It's just a thought. It is just a thought. It's not like, and yes, thoughts create, but at the same time, it's like, but you can consciously select what thought that you want to create from. So if you have that power, you're powerful, right? Ooh, thank you. Hello. And the thought has no business telling you what to do. You tell it what to do, right? And the thought is the command. Appearance change. If you want to make an appearance change, you want to get very clear about the things that you want to change, then you want to start saying that you already have those things. And if you look in the mirror or you look at pictures of yourself, you could either affirm or you could visualize that the change has already happened. Like if you want, I don't know, whatever, I don't know, different people want different things, but whatever. Let's say you want long nails or something, right? I mean, I like my long nails, so I'm good with that. Oh, my nails are so long and healthy. Oh, I love my super long nails. And it doesn't matter what your nails look like, you're just going to keep going with the story that you want. Like, everything with manifestation is literally like the same principle. What do you want? That's the focus. That's the affirmation. That's the visual. That's what you do, right? There's nothing, it's like you omit everything that does not agree with what you want. You omit it. Bye, peace out. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you, Jasmine. Do I have a favorite way of looking at what? Subliminals will work if you think they will. It's the same principle. Like anything could work if you think they will. What if you can't get specific and visualize? Then you would make an affirmation out of it. If you can't visualize, that's totally fine. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Then you would just make an affirmation out of it. What are your thoughts on revision? You've been struggling with doubts on that lately. In my opinion, you don't really need to do revision, and it's kind of a waste of time, in my opinion, because why are we going to go on a mental journey to a timeline that we didn't want and revise it? And you know what I mean? Like, if it resonates with you, like, no shade to that. But I would just say that shit never happened. like what you talking about? That shit never happened. It comes to mind again. What? Huh? Well, I don't know what you're talking about. And it's the same thing, but you like to even revise it. I don't, why are you going to waste your time? Oh my God, it's a puzzle piece already. I was talking for a fucking hour. What the hell? You see, this is why time don't exist. Oh my word. Y'all just, aye. All right. What do I think about spells? Words are spelling, so you're always spelling. I just posted a video about that on TikTok. Like, that's why they call it spelling, right? Because you're using your words as affirmations to cast down what you want. But also, if you're talking about spells in terms of like, witchcraft or things like that, it's the same principle as any other thing with manifestation. If you believe and you are intending that the spell is going to work, then the spell is going to work. But it's not that the spell is working, it's that you are working, but you're just using like the avenue of saying it's a spell. Okay, it's just like praying to a saint or a deity or whatever, right? It's just, okay, yeah, you believe in that, so you're going to see evidence of that working. There's certain things you don't want to exist anymore. You have a hard time letting go. I mean, I would suggest not thinking of those things. Like, if they come to mind, you can just say, no, that never happened, or that doesn't exist. I would just go with that. If you're feeling a certain way, then let whatever feeling process. But if it's just literally coming into your mind, you could just say, what's that? Who? Huh? What? I don't recall that. And the more that you even say, I don't recall that, I don't remember, that's also kind of programming yourself, because now you don't remember. And if you don't remember it, how can it be in your consciousness? So if there's anything that you want to fade away, I don't remember that. What? Even if you know that it's like, still in your conscious memory, you can say, I don't remember. I don't remember that. That never happened. Everything has always been perfect in that area. Everything has always been amazing in that area. And like, oh my God, y'all, I want to talk about this. I'm going to talk about this. Okay, let's talk about this. What about those individuals that say that you have to heal your inner child and shit like that? Come on. And then they're talking about manifestation, and they're like, oh, go in and give your inner child a hug and all. Like, I mean, listen, sometimes that is beneficial for certain individuals, but you do not need to do that to manifest what you want. Okay? You don't need to do that. Your inner child is healed now, done. Hell yeah. Your inner child was always perfect. Nothing to even heal there. Okay, so a lot of people, even when they talk about manifesting and spirituality, they're like, oh, but you have to go back into the timeline and give your 5-year-old self a hug. What the fuck, man? You know what I mean? Like, and listen, if that is something that resonates with you, go ahead and do it, okay? If but it's not for everyone. If it's for you, then do it. But also, you have to have a belief, number one, that you have some trauma, okay? Because technically the you that was a child is no longer in existence unless you are summoning up that again, okay? So you want to say, I have always been healthy. I have always been perfect. Everything has always went my way, even if it feels like a fucking lie, okay? Because you don't need to heal trauma to manifest, okay? I'm not saying if that, again, if you feel like you need to do that, or that's something that is going to be beneficial for you, it's still your belief. So if you go into it with like, you're going to do a heal your inner child meditation to release some trauma, okay? Like you bit into a cookie, you thought it was chocolate chip, but it was oatmeal raisin. Now you don't trust a baker ever again. You know what I mean? Like you go in there and you give the inner child a hug. Okay, yeah, it's going to work because you say that you found benefit in it. But it's still like you don't necessarily need to do all that. You know what I mean? So, see, you want to get your nails done dark red? Hell yeah, you should. So, the oatmeal raisin cookie. Yeah, I give the weirdest metaphor, and no shade to oatmeal raisin. I mean, I'm sure you have a fan base. You know, it's just not my thing. But yeah, so that's my whole shit with that. Like, you know, I'm not negating that people might have had traumatic experiences, and in that case, if you know you find beneficial for you to go and do deep dives with that's separate from manifestation. What I would recommend though is stop identifying as someone who has experienced trauma. Okay, and I know that that's like, oh, but how you just, you know, you amp it up every day. So if you're saying, you know, my life has always been perfect, everything good always happens to me, you know, everything good has always happened to me, everything always works in my favor, everything always has, right? It's like, okay, if you don't believe that, then you can say, you know what, maybe some shit went down, but I'm better now. I'm always getting better every day. You want to tone it like that. You want to dilute a victim or a traumatized mentality little by little. Okay, like, I mean, I've encountered individuals and they, like, their whole life is centered around like a trauma that they had, and I'm like, well, I'm glad that, you know, you've maybe bettered yourself from the trauma, you healed and you did all this inner work, like, that's great, but you're still basing your life off of a trauma. Like, I don't know, like, to me that's a little strange. Okay, even, hey, icon, you know, it's just like, stop seeing yourself as a victim, stop seeing yourself as traumatized, stop seeing yourself as broken, stop seeing yourself as there's something that needs to be fixed. The fuck? And, you know, the more that you do that, which is the more that you focus on you being whole, perfect, healthy, healed, fulfilled, you're just going to step into that identity. And like, you know, in my opinion, just because I'm on the topic, self-concept, in my opinion, and this is just what I've, you know, seen and heard of and heard about, okay, self-concept can come from a trauma that someone experienced, because in a way there's still, remember, like I said in the beginning with the subconscious, the under, right? Okay, so something traumatic happened in someone's experience. Okay, so their self-concept might have shaped around that. So and this is not everyone, okay, but in a lot of cases, someone with a self-concept issue has experienced a trauma that they never let go of, and it's running in the undertones. Okay, so self-concept, we know if you have a healthy self-concept, you just know that everything's working out for you. You know that you're powerful. You know that you're confident. You know that you're creative. You know that you're loved. You know that everything always goes your way. You just have a general good disposition. Maybe there's an area or two, an app or two on your phone that you're like, oh, okay, well, this needs some tuning up, you know what I'm saying? But you're not like, most of your experiences are pleasant and good. Okay, in my opinion, you do not need to work on self-concept if you already have a strong self-concept. But I have noticed that individuals who have experienced, you know, a traumatic event, their self-concept a lot of times is still identifying with the victim mentality, and that is the one thing that's fucking up their self-concept, because there's still an undertone of a victim mentality. How to jump a timeline where someone is alive it would be the same concept as any other manifestation. So if this is someone that you want to have a conversation with, then you would start acting as if they're already around and they're already with you, okay? And it, you know, that's what it is. It's the same process for everything. It's just like, if you want someone to be banished from your reality, you're not going to focus on them, right? Annoying coworker. Okay, yeah, they switched jobs, don't know where they went, no one cares. Cool. But if you want to bring someone into your reality, no matter who it is and what their relation is to you, you're just going to focus on the timeline where you're already interacting with them, and you can make affirmations about it, or you could do visuals, or you could script it out. But you're tuning yourself to the timeline where that individual is, instead of tuning them out. You're summoning that, but you're really summoning it within yourself. Then your consciousness is going to ignite all of these things, and you're going to start seeing evidence of that timeline playing out. Even if they, well, I'm not going to say the word used, but if they're actually departed, yes. Because, listen, okay, here's the thing. Nothing is impossible, right? Now, the thing that I have noticed, especially where someone wants to, you know, reunite with a deceased loved one or something like that, okay? They might not believe that that is possible, okay? Because of, you know, science and biology and whatever, right? So if they don't believe that that's possible, and that's dominating them wanting to communicate and be around that person, that is what's going to win out. And that one is a big 3D issue, because it's like everyone kind of accepts that, right? Okay, you're born, you fucking pass away, whatever, right? So everyone accepts that, and then they accept the notion that once, you know, the vessel is no longer functioning, that they're gone. So if you are, you know, open to the idea that that is not true, and that the vessel is, you know, animated, reanimated, or, you know, or if they appear in a new vessel, or however it is, that's what is going to be for you, okay? So some people, when they want to communicate with like crossed over loved ones, they'll look for signs of different things, okay? They might look for, you know, the name or an initial, or they might look for, you know, a song might play or something, and they're okay with that, okay? Now, there's some individuals who they're not okay with that, and they want the actual person there. Then that individual would be more open and accepting to the fact that that's possible, rather than someone who's like, well, you know, maybe they won't be around in their physical vessel anymore, but at least we can communicate through other means, right? It depends on how dominantly you believe that, you know? Well, if you want to reunite with your dog, then I would suggest just, you know, going with the, you know, the steps that you would do for any other manifestation, because it's no different. It's like, how do you want to interact with your dog? Like alive in front of you? Do you want to just, you know, communicate with them, you know, energetically? Like what do you want to happen? And then I would focus on that and say it's already done, you know? How do you navigate your feelings while shifting into a new state, even if unfavorable things happen? You let the feelings process out, but you keep your mind in alignment with what you want. You don't want to, in my opinion, pretend that you don't have feelings or try to stifle them. Whatever you need to do to process the emotions out, you do it, but you keep your mind right. You see spirits, but somehow wasn't easy believing around bringing a person back in the same body. Yeah, see, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. It's very common, because we're so programmed that, you know, things are final when they happen, right? And at its core, the weirdest shit is that too is even a belief system, right? Because there was this thing that motherfuckers was saying that, I don't know, back in the day, or there's record of individuals who were living till they were like 800, okay, like 800. Like there's record of that. But now it's like the belief now, if you were to say, oh, the natural age for someone to operate a humanoid vessel is 867 years, you're going to be like, what? Nah, bitch. Like, I doubt that, right? And you would just, your mind might not accept it just because it's such a strong program. But, you know, if you don't accept it, then it can't be true in your reality. It says some comments in this live were filtered to protect the Cudity's experience. That's fucking amazing. I don't know what's going on in her, but okay. I never have mods in any of my lives because, you know, we're all just having a good time. I don't know what's going on in the chat like that. You know what I mean? I only see positivity in here, so I don't know if there's TikTok filter. You know what I'm saying? How do you persist even when it feels like nothing is happening and every day is replaying? You're going to, number one, stop saying that it feels like nothing's happening. You're going to say everything is already happened perfectly, beautifully, better than I expect. And every day is more beautiful and magical and better feeling and better sensing and better living than the previous. However you want to word it. You're going to say every day is getting better for you and more exciting and more perfect. And you're going to say that everything has already happened and worked out perfectly. Thoughts on this saying there is no separation? Well, there is no separation in the mind, like, because all is connected. So it's like when someone is saying that, oh, if you want to manifest an SP, you're going against their free will. That's not true, because there's no free will, because they are you. In terms of, like, you know, your awareness, okay? Your awareness is charging them up, okay? So it's like they get a power up whenever you turn your focus to them. Yes, I do still upload my live streams to YouTube. I think I have one from like a few days ago, the most recent one. And I don't know how long they be getting either. Like they be getting super long. I'm like, it seems like I was here literally for 5 minutes, but that, again, it's like time doesn't exist. So, and that's proof of it, you know. That is super proof, because when I'm in the zone like I am now, I'm not focused on time, so it's just going by. So if you feel like you're waiting for a manifestation, you're focused on time, just try to make yourself as content and comfortable as you possibly can in 3D. And, you know, to get back to what I was saying about the thought transmission, there is no separation, because all consciousness is one, right? Everyone is connected in the quantum realm, but it's the observer that's like animating everything. So it's like the whole forest is dark, and when you turn your focus to something, you illuminate that, right? So that's what's charging it up, and you are the only one doing that in your experience. So everyone is responding to you. Like when you look at them, they light up. That's how you want to think about it. And they're not doing anything outside of the parameters that you set for them, because remember, they do not light up unless you look at them. Somehow keep pushing the same stuff. If I do my followers consciously get yeah, I mean, you like definitely keep at it. I mean, anything that you are saying that you want, no matter how like cray it seems, you have to be the one to say, okay, you know what, I know what society might think. Hey Jenny, what is up? You want to find a way to say, you know what, a lot of motherfuckers might dismiss this as not possible, but to me anything is possible, and I'm gonna go with it. Like, that's what you'd want to do, you know? I forget what I was talking about before that. Oh, thank you, C. Brooks. Is it marble? It's, I don't think it's real marble, but I like it too. Thank you so much. I don't know. I'm not like, I mean, I'm into like homewares and shit like that, but I have no idea what type of material anything is, honestly. It looks like marble though. That's what matters, right? Woo! Oh, yeah, Jenny, no doubt. I'll talk to you later. Done deal. Thank you, Icon Hayes. You're welcome. What do you think of removing focus from SPs completely for mental diet? I mean, you can if you want. It really doesn't matter, because you could think of them as much as you want to, as long as you're not thinking against the desire. So if the SP crosses your mind and you find yourself thinking, oh, SP loves me so much, then that's one thing. But if SP crosses your mind and you're like, how can they haven't text me? What are they doing? Then that's something different. So you can't think about someone too much or too little. It's just the way that you are thinking about them. Thank you. I'm glad you love the red lights. Overthinkers should use it to their advantage, to overthink in their favor. Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, everyone is always thinking anyway. So, I mean, do you want to like pollute your mind, or do you want to make it better? You know what I mean? And it's like, what is the, I think the thing why a lot of individuals don't like to focus on the positive, because they feel that if it doesn't happen, or they're going to be let down in some way, and then they're going to just reiterate the story that, thinking positive goes nowhere. Okay, so if you really just applied it, and I'm not saying you had to be, Mary Poppins jumping off a roof, you know what I'm saying? But like, if you just apply it, like, okay, this, no matter how it looks, is still working out in my favor, and then you go with that, then that's what it's going to be. You want to put the most positive spin to everything, even if it's not like, oh shit, oh my God, everything is here. You don't have to like fake it, oh my God, I go through water like so fucking fast. Manifesting one thing is like manifesting anything. You can't think too much or too little about it, as long as you're thinking about it in the proper way. So if you were... I love water. Like, that's like that's like all I drink. Like, throughout the day. Like, I don't care. Plain water, it does not matter. I love it. Tap water, I'm good. Different versions of people. Okay. So different versions of individuals are coming from you. So it's like you're at the SP buffet, or whoever it is, okay? Anyone can be a specific person, whether it's grandma, grandpa, it don't matter, okay? So you're at the specific person buffet, and then there's different versions of them for you to choose. So which one do you want? You're the one that gets to pick them up and interact with them. So you're like, do I want SP to be in love with me? Okay, I'm going with this version of them. SP's in love with me. Yep, SP's in love with me. But then if you go and you look at the 3D and you see that they ain't text you in a hot minute, oh, SP's not texting me. Now what you did is you took your focus off of SP that's in love with you, and you put it on SP who ain't texting you, who is a different person. This is why, like, yes, Corey, this will go on YouTube. And this is why when someone is asking me, like, that they want SP to show up and apologize to them for some shit, if you only want an apology, yes, go for it. It's the same method of manifestation, right? If that's what you want, okay? You only want them to apologize and you don't care anything further, then you go with that. You just, affirm it, or you visualize, whatever it is, okay? You just like, yeah, they already apologized. I'm good with it, right? Like, you're whatever. Okay, but this is where I recommend, okay? If you want the version of SP that is conformed to what you want an apology and you want them conformed, change behavior, right? Those are two different versions too, because you know what, the conformed version of SP, either you'll see evidence that thing that happened didn't even really happen, or they will apologize naturally and it'll blow over. Because remember, perfect version of SP did not fuck up anything. because they're perfect for you. So what would they need to apologize for? They're two different individuals. But you have to look at where you fucked up. I'ma say it. Where did you fuck up that the SP even showed up that way for you? Because you thought something and then it transpired with them. So was it a belief about SP? Was it a belief about relationships? Was it a self-concept thing? I don't know. Only you know. So what in you created that? Address those issues, make your affirmations out of it, and say, okay, that story is done. I've addressed the issue. This is SP, and SP has always shown up for me better than I expected, more than I ever wanted. I am everything SP has ever wanted. I am the only one. I am the best. I am always chosen. All my relationships are perfect, right? You go in with that, and you single-mindedly focus on that version. You ain't looking at no other flavors of SP in the buffet. You're looking at the version you want. Who are they? And here's something. Oh, thank you. You love my lives. Can you create your dream SP out of thin air, like face and personality? You definitely can. Hell yeah. With SPs, you know, I recommend also looking at the type of relationship that you want, because, you know, the idea is for you to be in a relationship with them, right? Unless you want a booty call, or unless you want like a friends with benefits, or unless you want like I don't know what you want. But if you want the committed, stable relationship, then what you want to do is think about who SP is being in that relationship. Because if you're saying that SP is in love with you, SP is obsessed with you, the SP could come back, but then how does the relationship look? I mean, you don't have to, but I would highly suggest that you're like, okay, what does the relationship look like? Because SP can come back and then the relationship is like shit. Okay? So those two, in my opinion, go hand in hand if you want a relationship. If you don't, then, you know, like, whatever you want to do, however you want your booty call to look, or friends with benefit, whatever, it doesn't matter. But what are the parameters of that? Okay, because some individuals, they be so focused on the SP, and the relationship is like, and it's like, okay, because you were only focused on the SP, but the SP and the relationship go hand in hand. So what does your ideal relationship look like? Because SP could show up, right, and be everything you wanted, but then they're working all the time and you can't spend time with them. So that's why you gotta be specific. Do you want to spend a lot of time with SP? You want to spend time apart from SP? Do you want to, you know, work from home with SP? Do you want to go cave diving with SP? Do you want to go to the movies with SP? Like, what does your relationship look like? And I think a lot of motherfuckers overlook this. Not necessarily like intentionally, like they consciously want to do it, but if you're so focused on the person, the relationship, oh my word, my jangles, the relationship fucking matters, okay? So the relationship matters, because you were focused on the SP. The SP shows up, but then they show up and you're kind of like, oh, like you don't know what to do. Because what does your relationship look like? Did you specify that? Did you say, I want to go everywhere with SP? Did you specify I want to take separate vacations from SP? Did you say that you want to have in-laws? Do you not want to have in-laws? Like, what do you want in that relationship? Okay? How does SP communicate with you? Is SP neat? Is SP messy? Okay? You know what I mean? What is your, I'm gonna go here, motherfucker. What is your love language, bro? If you believe in that. Yes, that's a belief system, but I mean, most motherfuckers do have a way that they appreciate being appreciated, and it might be different. So if you're like going in with, oh, thank you, holla, I love that. If you're going in with like, my love language is words of affirmation, and SP's love language is like gifts, it's like, okay, yeah, you want to find a way to compromise it, either that or change it so that you both are on board with the same thing. Because if you are not looking at the relationship and how you're interacting, can you trust SP? Can SP trust you? Like, you know, are you comfortable? Like there's a lot of fucking factors in there. Okay? So if you have trust issues in a relationship, if you think motherfuckers lie, if you think motherfuckers are up to no good or whatever it is, then ideally that wouldn't be in your dream relationship with SP. So you would want to, like, you know, and you don't have to write it down. You don't have to say an affirmation for it. But I mean, I would definitely recommend having a generalized idea of what a relationship looks like for you. You know, that it's totally up to the individual. So some motherfuckers, they like to be super romantic, right? Some motherfuckers, they're more chill and casual. Some motherfuckers like to be like funny. Some motherfuckers are more serious. Like, is SP more outgoing than you, or are you both equally outgoing? Do you enjoy, like there's a lot of shit to it. Okay, there's a lot of shit, and it's more than, you know, just manifesting SP to come back, in my opinion. I mean, it doesn't have to be, like, you know, but I would say go with the parameters of the relationship too, my dude. Hell yeah. Yeah, the generalized idea of the relationship. Because whenever I've manifested a relationship, I don't manifest SPs, okay? I go by the relationship. And if there's someone that is in my experience and they conform, okay. If there's someone that I have no idea who they are and they show up, okay. Like, I'm okay with that, because to me the relationship is, it ideally would be the heart of the matter between someone and someone else, right? It's the relationship that brings you together in that way. Because I can tell you, even with friendships, and, you know, I don't want to say I don't think I've ever actively manifested like someone to be my friend, or friendships in general, but the way that even you like your friendships is key to that friendship working, because like you have different dynamics with different individuals, right? So it's like your dynamic with your friend, this motherfucker, might be different from your friend, that motherfucker. You know what I mean? And so what does your dynamic look like with SP? That's quite important, don't you think? And you can just say, you know, this is my perfect relationship. And it's perfect for you, but I would write down, I would get clear what that relationship looks like. Can you explain how to not put your awareness on the 3D when you live with the person? It's the same thing, mental discipline. So however they're showing up for you, you're just gonna view them differently, okay? So if they leave, I don't know, dishes in the sink, and you don't want that, this is just an example. I'm so happy that they always clean the dishes. And it could be you cleaning the dishes. You'd be like, I'm so happy they always clean the dishes. I'm so happy they always wash the dishes. I'm so happy they always wash the dishes. Whatever it is. SP left the socks on the floor. Okay, I'm so happy SP always picks up the socks and puts them in the fucking laundry. I'm so happy. Whatever. Okay? Or you don't have to pick up the socks, or you don't have to do the dishes. It's entirely up to you, but you would definitely want to go with that story in your mind, no matter what you do in the 3D. How do you manifest instantly with affirmations? The manifestation is instant, so it's not like you're doing anything with affirmations to make it so, other than keep your mind in alignment with the thing so that you aren't contradicting the thing that you manifest. Hell yeah. You're welcome. I mean, I don't know. You know, everyone has different styles. Thank you, Izzy. Thank you. So, if you were to just declare right now, it is done now, it is done perfectly, it's done better than I expect, I don't have to lift a finger, and so it is, and you genuinely did not think against it, and you didn't think about it again, that shit would materialize. Just like if you were to repeat that statement that I just said that I don't remember, it would be the same principle as well. You would just repeat it over and over, or you could script it out, or you could visualize a scene where it's already done. But all of those things are not it's not to be created, it's to be tuned into, and that's what you're doing, okay? How to transform shame and not feeling good enough, that's self-concept. So I would definitely recommend for anyone who wants to work on self-concept, like I am statements, okay? And you are gonna say, I am powerful, I am worthy, I am victorious in every situation, in every timeline. Amen. Or you could put that into your own words. Oh, you never thought about the type of relationship you wanted? Yeah, a lot of individuals don't, because they're so wrapped up in like the person. But it's like, if the person is there and the relationship is shit, like what is the point of even, like, you know what I mean? It's like, what's the point? Like, okay, you know what I mean? So I would write down a list of how you want your ideal relationship to look. Like, do you want to be married to them? Do you want to be living with them? Do you want to live across the country from them? Like, I don't know what what works for someone might not work for someone else. That's where you have to be specific with what you want, and don't you fucking settle or sell yourself short because you're writing it down for you, and that's your ideal, right? It's what you want. So because you want it, it already exists, so you don't need to settle for something. And like, you know what I mean? Like, if it's a deal breaker, if it's an absolute deal breaker, you don't need to settle for that. If it's something that you're like, okay, yeah, the relationship I want, but they leave their socks on the floor. If that's something you can deal with them, then that's fine. But there ought to be some things that you're highly clear about, okay? And whatever those are for everyone is different, but they're the things that you're like, oh, this is it for my relationship. There's no compromises, there's no settling. Make sure you're very clear about those, okay? And the little details, they'll sort themselves out. I'm like trying to, the chat was frozen for a minute. You only thought about your SP, how he was in the beginning and being consistent, but you realize you want more. Well, I mean, whatever you want, if you want that from the SP, then you're going to say that the SP conformed into this dream version. So, you know what that looks like. And if you want some new person and you just want to focus on the energy of the relationship, that's fine too. So it all comes down to not wavering, then things will shift instantly. Yes, from your perception, it will seem like something shifted in 3D, but really nothing shifted. It was already there. It's just like you're unwavering. So it's like I'm staring at the phone. I'm not even noticing what else is going on in the room because I'm unwavering staring at the phone. And then it's like, oh, the phone is the only thing in my focal point of awareness because I ain't looking nowhere else. That's the same thing with the reality. So the reality already exists and you're only looking here. You're not looking there. You're not looking there. You're not looking there. You're just only looking here. The more time you spend looking there, it's going to seem like it comes faster in the 3D. Can I explain robotic affirmations? It's really just like you're saying the same affirmation over and over and over and over again, and you don't need to feel it real or anything like that. It's just you are repeating one statement that implies that your desire is done. That is what's up. I'm just looking at the chat over here. So I don't know where I want to ask this. Where is everyone from? What time is it where you're at? So for a boyfriend, you would just say you love your boyfriend. Yeah, or you can say that you're already in your dream relationship with whoever it is. Ooh, Toronto, Chicago. Holla. I absolutely love it. Manifesting money. Ooh, Boston, Oklahoma. Holla. Arizona, what is up? Ooh, Australia, love it. New Zealand, oh my God, love it. Tampa, Connecticut, Hartford, holla. How you manifest money? Ooh, Brazil, Florida is the way that you manifest any other thing. And with money, I recommend always getting a specific, amount that you are comfortable with. And then say, I always have more than whatever that specific amount is in my bank account available to me at all times, perfectly, consistently, easily. Okay, that's what I'd recommend. And if you want to take in a certain amount per day, I would say what you would do is just say, I always take in XYZ, ABC, whatever amount a day, a week, a month, every 2 weeks. It doesn't matter. But with money, I suggest getting specific and then saying I always have more than. Does being sad about SP count as wavering? Because I've been doing that and never thought it could be. Your feelings matter in terms of you want to have a good 3D experience. So if you're feeling sad, allow yourself to process those emotions. But your feelings don't matter in terms of like it potentially messing up the manifestation. As long as you keep your thoughts in alignment and you say something, no matter how I'm feeling, everything that I want is already here, right? It doesn't matter what I'm feeling. This is the old story leaving. You just kind of not diminish your emotions, not say that they're not valid, but you're just saying these emotions leaving are showing me that the old story is leaving. It's done now. That's what you would do. Manifesting a job and moving to another city, the same principle as anything. I am so happy that I am living blah 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 and this is my profession, right? Like you make an affirmation out of specifically what you want. Manifesting physical appearance change. You want to not focus on something that you perceive as like a flaw or something that you want to change. You want to view it as already ideal, the way that you want it to look. And for this, I also recommend, like for appearance change, I recommend a lot of mirror work. So if like, I don't know, let's say someone wants to dye their hair blonde, okay, or they want blonde hair or whatever the case, but they just want to do it naturally through manifestation. Just imagine yourself with blonde hair, and it doesn't matter what color your hair is. You're just going to say, I'm so happy I'm a blonde, I'm so happy I'm, right? And you're going to see the blonde hair on yourself, and that works for anything. Do I prefer affirmations or visualization? I mean, it depends. Like either work fine because it's not really the method. It's just that, the method is helping keep your mind occupied on what you want. So if you want to do both, that's fine. But if you only do one or you do both or you do neither, you can simply just declare that it's done. Personally, for visualizations, I recommend being in like the mood for it. Whereas affirmations, you don't really need to like do anything, right? But the visualization, you want to get it as like realistic as possible, even with like feeling tactile sensations of it. So if you want to imagine like SP or some shit, like you're hugging them, what do they feel like? Like you would feel their skin, and you would like immerse yourself in the visual and see if you can feel the emotion of like you hugging them, right? Like that's what I'm saying for visuals. And it can be a quick scene that you replay over and over again, but for visuals, because of the, in my opinion, attention to detail that should be put into that one scene to make it as real as possible, you want to be in the mood. Whereas like the affirmation will work as well, but you could be driving and affirming. You could be, you know, like honestly, I could be fucking thinking about a visual right now because I just visualize naturally. I can visualize right now and I can start feeling things and like it's already here. But that depends. So if you're super visual and you can just visualize and get all the sensations out of nowhere when you're just, you know, going about your day on a random Tuesday, you're like, ooh, that visual is good, and you're like at the grocery store and shit, then, you know, go for it. But if you're having an issue with like visualizing, or you feel like you're not like super great at it, then you'd want to set aside a time like before bed or right when you wake up, when you do that, when you're more relaxed. But it doesn't really matter. It's just every method is up to the individual, because everyone is an individual, you know what I mean? It depends what works. You get sidetracked when it comes to visuals. Yeah, I mean, you can, because it's like, okay, you know, it might take a while to like enact in your mind, you know what I mean? But like the affirmations work just as well because the thing is already done. So it's just a matter of like personal preference. Like, do you like coffee or do you like tea? When Neville said feeling is a secret, he doesn't mean emotions. He means the sensation of how natural it processes in your body. So what I recommend with that is like, how do you feel about what color shirt you're wearing right now? Okay. But like, you don't really feel anything, right? It's just kind of there and you're just like, cool, you know? You struggle with visualizing because you think in words, and you know, you don't have to force yourself to visualize. It's, you know, the affirmations will work just as fine, or maybe like scripting or making lists or writing something down might be beneficial if like words are more your style. You like looking at pictures and affirming in your head when focused affirming. Yeah, I mean, like everyone, whatever you want to do, you do that. Like it depends, because you don't also want the affirmations to feel like a chore, or you don't want the visuals to feel like a chore. You don't want it to feel like a chore. You want to have fun with it, right? Like, oh, if I don't do these affirmations and type it 20 times, it's not going to happen. Like, no, you know what I mean? So find something that, you know, resonates as fun for you. So you could look at pictures. There's a lot of people use ChatGPT to have like text conversations and pretend that the chat is like the SP, and then they have, you know, like a chat like that might resonate with some people. What can you do with the thought that your desire is too good to be true? I would go with, why do you think it's too good to be true? Because it's your perception of that. Do you just feel in general like things are too good to be true? Do you feel that in this specific sector of your experience things are too good to be true? You know, isolate where that's coming from and then affirm against it. Only good things are true. Everything is perfect. Everything is always amazing. Everything always works out perfectly for me, better than I expect. And really nothing is too good to be true, because what is good or bad anyway, right? Like, what is good or bad? Nothing is too good to be true, because everyone's perception of good is different. Like, some motherfucker might be like, oh, I don't know, bananas. I like a banana and peanut butter sandwich. Oh, hell no, my ass is getting up. No, absolutely not. Banana and peanut butter, no. Now, I'm not saying someone else doesn't find that good, right? But me, I'm like, oh my word, I don't want no banana sandwich up in here, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go to like, I don't know, peanut butter and honey, you know what I'm saying? So what is good to someone? You like the banana sandwich, go for your banana sandwich. But why do you think the thing cannot be true if you perceive it as good? Does it come from self-concept? You think you're not worthy? Does it come from that thing seems like it's hard to come by in the 3D? Did you have an experience where you know, something occurred in the 3D and it gave you a story about why that thing would be too good to be true? Like, there's so many different reasons, you know. And I don't know why I started talking about banana sandwich, though. I'm dead ass. I have no clue. That's a metaphor of the evening, I guess. You do not need to feel that you're living in another city and working there. But if you want to, I would immerse yourself in like videos and pictures of that place. And where would you be working? What type of residence would you be living in? Like, get as familiar with all of that. And, you know, keep affirming, I'm so happy that I'm already there. I'm so happy that I'm in this career here, you know. Hey, Michelle, what's up, girl? Okay, so if you think you see your desires as too big or complicated, that's not you who really thinks that. That's from the ego, because maybe of a societal construct, or like you really can't pinpoint what the logistics would be. So I would just start saying all my desires are perfectly suited for me and have always been easy to attain, or something like that, because you want to override what you are saying is big and complicated. So you would do that with the opposite. Can doing nothing manifest SP? SP is already manifested, so yeah, you can literally just say, yeah, I'm with SP, okay, it's cool, it's a done deal, and move on about your day, and yeah, because it's already done. What? Oh, thank you, Michelle. What do I do when it comes to back manifest? It's happened before. Wait, what? Can you rephrase that? What do I do when it comes back? Manifestation comes. It's happened before, but then I get scared. I'm not sure what you mean by that, actually. So if you want to repeat that, and then it would go with SP. Actually, it's the same thing, like ordering something from the internet. I can definitely see that analogy, ordering something from the internet. That's like perfect. I mean, you're just picking out what you want. You're just tuning into what channel you want to view. You know what I mean? Actually, this thing, yeah. Like, it's for anything. Like, even with manifesting money, it's like, you're selecting versions of you that are in alignment with money or not, right? So the version of you that's in alignment with money already exists and doesn't constantly check the bank account, and everything is on auto pay, and they don't stress, right? They're just like, oh, okay, yeah, I can afford that. I can afford whatever I want. And then it's there, you know? Like, and I'm not saying they're going out like, you know, blowing their fucking credit cards up or anything, but they're just going about their business and they're unfettered by anything in the 3D, right? Whereas someone who's identifying from poverty, they could have millions of dollars in their bank account, and their poverty mindset, they're gonna see that they need to save money. Number one, you ain't need to save money. Money don't need no rescuing, okay? You don't need to save money. You don't need to, like, I mean, you can be thrifty if you want, like, you know what I mean? But, like, you don't need to pinch pennies. You don't need to do all of that. But you are, and you have millions of dollars. But what is that showing? That's showing that you're hoarding the energy of money, and you're saying there's always lack, there's always lack. So pretty soon that money, even though it's millions of dollars, is going to be depleted, because your story about money, even though you have it, was detrimental. Just like the story about, like, you could have $1 to your name, but you're like, everything is always taken care of for me. I'm always provided for. Money always flows to me easily. Money is always right on time. You know what I mean? Like, then the shit is going to come to you because it's who you're being. Okay, you've manifested SPs to come back before, but it fails because of your fears. And I would identify what those fears are and override them with what the opposite is. But you would have to identify what the fears are in order to address them, to switch them out. Guidance on what to do when they come back. Number one, figure out the fears. And, you know, you want to get to the root of what those were. So was it specific to relationships? Was it specific to that person? You know what I mean? Like, what did I do to help cause that? Okay, so let me work on that. And then when the person comes back, that issue is already fixed, right? The road is already paved. It's fucking smooth. What? Hell yeah, Michelle. Okay, what? Manifesting comes easy. We get everything we want. Hell yeah. Oh. You plant the seed and dig it up and see if it's growing. Well, I'm glad that you're making progress, Michelle. You're always making progress. You know exactly what to do. You just keep, maybe, you know, it's like, a lot of people get impatient, right? Because they know that they're in this state and they're like, okay, I want to check. It's kind of like, you know, the ego's wanting confirmation. But if you want to check, it's like, you know, it's there, but you just have to trust that the unseen is already unfolding and be like, you know what? I don't need to check because it's already done. There is no time. All is now. Everything is finished perfectly for me, right? Like, you want to say something like that and make that your affirmation. This way you're training yourself not to be impatient or want to, you know, fiddle with the middle and dig it up or whatever. You just, the seed has been planted, it's already grown, that's it, it's done. I'm the Lord and there is none else. Like, yeah, digging up the seed. I mean, I can definitely see that, because it's like you want to check, but, you know, you don't need to check. You are the, you know, the person who knows that it already exists. I am just jammed to my trance. But you don't need to do anything. Like, you are the process, okay? You are definitely. Trust that the soil is soiling. I love that. Oh my God, I love it. But yeah, like, the trust is within you. It's like, you are the seed. Allow yourself to, like, grow into that version of you that you already trusted. And, like, the growth process can be literally instantaneous, but you're the one that's growing into the version of you that has it. And the fully grown version of you that has it doesn't need to check for it, right? Like, I don't need to check that I'm talking on a phone right now because it's happening. Yeah, I mean, if you don't see movement, it's like you're not doing anything wrong other than maybe saying that you don't see movement. So you can just start saying that you always see movement, if that's something that's, like, on your mind. I always see movement. All I see is evidence all day, every day, that everything that I want is already here. Like, it's the law can be very, very literal, okay? Like, because it's going by what you believe. So if you're saying you don't see movement, then that's what the law is going to give you. If you're saying you see movement every day, then that's what the law is going to give you, you know? Yes, the live is going to go on YouTube at a certain point. Ooh, I'm glad you love the live. Yes, Michelle, all day, every day, all you see is movement. Like, make it like a mantra. All day, every day, all I see is movement. All day, every day, all I see is movement. Fuck yeah. How to shut the ego down? You don't shut the ego down, you just learn to tame it. And how you tame it is by saying, you know, okay, That's not what we're going with. We're going with this. And the more that you repeat the affirmation, the ego is going to find that affirmation to be the baseline of what it wants to protect, because that is a new belief. Then the ego is going to start defending that affirmation. So anytime the ego comes up and is saying, no, 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 okay, any type of restriction, constriction, something that, you know, doesn't feel so pleasant, you're going to say, nope, everything, you know, whatever it is that you want is already done now. It's already done now. It's done now. And you listen to me. That's it. Or you could just ignore it, okay? But the ego is there even when you have your desires. This is why it's like you're not shutting the ego down, because now that you have the desires, right? Now that you're the multimillionaire or whatever, someone could, you know, come up to you and say, no, you're not. You're broke as fuck. And the ego now, because it's on board with that new story, it's still going to protect that story, because it's your new belief. And it's be like, what, motherfucker? You broke as shit. Like, I'm rich as fuck, right? It's not even gonna... that's gonna be the baseline for the ego to protect, okay? But as long as, you know, we're in vessels, it's like the ego is gonna be there, because that's what separates everyone. So you're not gonna entirely escape it, though you can learn to tame it. If your parents say they don't have money, then start saying that they do have money. That's what I would recommend. Anything that you don't want, you don't acknowledge it. Like anything. And I mean literally anything, okay? You don't, I don't know, you don't like a random store on the corner. Okay, that store moved across town. I'm so happy. You don't acknowledge it, okay, with anything. It can be perceived as big. It can be perceived as small. You just don't acknowledge it. Well, if you're saying that they're in lack mentality, that's still a story that you're saying about them. So I'm not sure why you're saying that. You know what I mean? Like, honestly. You are the chooser, okay? You are the observer of everything. And if you're saying that someone else, right, even though you might have known them your whole life, right, if they're your parents, you've known them your whole life, but you've always seen them a certain way. But now that you're consciously aware of manifestation, it doesn't matter if you've always seen them a certain way your whole life, you're going to start seeing them differently. You're going to start seeing them differently. And then, because you are seeing them differently, they have to change in front of you, because you're the one watching them. What to do when things don't go the way you wanted, that's still your perception. So I would start saying that, you know, no matter what's happening in the 3D, everything is already unfolded perfectly. I'm always getting what I want. This too is showing me that I have what I want right now. My YouTube is the same as my username on here, and it's linked in my bio. How do you manifest dream body after pregnancy? What you would do is, you know, the same for any physical appearance change. You would picture what you want and you would focus on that. And instead of looking at something as a perceived flaw, you would look at it as the way that you want to see it. And you can make affirmations around that. You know what I mean? You're welcome. So I think maybe I'll do one more question. I don't know how long I was talking. I might have been talking for 2 hours, and I don't want this to get like super long. Is there a question that like would be super beneficial for like everyone? Okay. Well, all right. The thing that I'm going to speak about is with manifesting, there is no right or wrong way to do it, because you're not manifesting anything, right? You're becoming the version of you that has it in the timeline that already exists. So the only thing to be made manifest is the awareness inside yourself that the thing is already done. And if you want to start like playing little games with yourself where you're kind of like, you know, forcefully gaslighting yourself, and you're like, oh, you know, okay, this means that, this means that, that means this, that means that, right? Like, it doesn't matter. You're gonna grasp at things that you want as the most favorable thing to you, and you're gonna focus on that, okay? And you're gonna be mindful of your thoughts, because as you do this, the version of you that is in alignment with your desires is going to start blossoming. We're just talking about seeds and digging up the seed. Now we're talking about blossoming. So someone's going to Sprouts. I don't fucking know. Maybe that's a message for someone, or someone's buying Sprouts or some shit. I like the little mini broccolis myself. They're fucking pimp as fuck. But anyway, so when you are being that version of you in every now moment, you are the manifestation, right? And you're aligning yourself, and you're walking into that timeline of everything that you want, because you start to program yourself. Like, even if you want to look at it logically, it's like you can think of it like you're programming yourself. You're training it like you would train a dog, and you're like, okay, look for evidence of this today. Boom. And then now, like, the more that you do that as a practice, if you're like super logical, you can just say, look for evidence of this today, look for evidence of that today, right? If you feel like it's delulu to live right in the end, okay, you can do it from a more logical based thing, where you're actually programming your mind, and you're consciously programming your mind, and you're saying, look for this. Then you're like, oh, okay, well, I told it to look for this, right? Instead of just, some individuals are more comfortable with just Delulu land, right? And, you know, they're not manifesting Delulu land, they are Delulu land, okay? And they're just like, it's already done, it's already done, it's already done. And they're naturally already seeing everything as working for them, or they're just not giving a fuck. Like, okay, they're in the 3D. Okay, cool, no problem. Whatever. The 3D, this is happening. Cool, no problem. Who cares, right? So you can train yourself to do that. If you're not already fully in Delulu land, you can train yourself by that, implementing that practice I said, like intentionally gaslighting yourself, where you just kind of like, look for evidence of this, everything is working my way, look for evidence of that. You're setting a parameter, right? So, you know, basically, whatever you are programming yourself to look for, you're going to start seeing evidence of that. But it's you're shaping your awareness to be tuned into that evidence. So it's like that evidence that everything is working for you in 3D is going to start materializing, because you could not see it from the previous dimension that you were in, from that identity. So it's like you're opening up fucking doors in your fucking mind, and then they open up your line of sight in the 3D. Okay? They're opening up your line of sight, and your line of sight is now tuned into that which you are perceiving in your mind. That was trippy as fuck. I don't even know what the holy moly. I don't know what the fuck was going on there, but I just channeled some shit. So you're not manifesting anything. Manifesting the version of you has the awareness of that thing already being there, hence materializing it in the 3D. So I don't know how long this live was. I think I'm a little hungry, and I said I was going to do that one more topic, but this will be on YouTube at a certain point. So thank you everyone for the likes and the shares and, you know, the conversations and everything like that. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for joining. And I will be posting this soon. And love you too, Jane. Love you. Love you all. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you all. You guys are so fucking amazing. And you already all know that you have what you want, okay? You already have what you want. We are all love, Jane. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed listening. May everyone set the intention that the manifestation is shown to us now in 3D, because it already exists. So let's get this shit done, okay? This is what we're doing. Now, motherfucking now. Okay, good. Everything is done. Everything is perfect. Everything is peaceful. Now. It is done. I am the Lord, and there is no motherfucker else. Woo! Fucking say it. Let me tell you the power up anthem. I am the Lord, and there is none else. Boom. That's it. 3D circumstance. I am the Lord, bitch, and there is none else. Okay, it's done now. It is done now. It is done now. It is done perfectly, beautifully, magically, better than I expected. It is done now. I'm the Lord, and there is none else. Now. Okay, just remember that. I'm the Lord, and there is none else. It is done now. All right, guys. Thank you all for joining. I'll talk to you later.